Good morning and welcome to part 4 of the self-love journey. This one is called Invisible Friends. It's in regards to coming into your intuitive abilities and your ability to listen to your higher self. Now, when I first started my journey, it was January of 2023 when I had a major upgrade in my gifts. If you are a part of my group on Facebook, I had posted something recently regarding a loss at a young age and how it opened me up to my gifts. Loss and heartache was the ability that I had, or the tool that I would have to help me elevate and enhance my skills. Each time that I've ever had a loss in my life or a setback or something that was meant to destroy me, I used that without knowing actually for a tool to help enhance my psychic abilities. But because I was really unaware of what was going on and why I was experiencing these things, I just kind of chalked it up as like a mental problem or a disorder or psychosis, or there's something wrong with me. I just had a loss. There's no way I'm saying this. It's all in my mind. Until this past year in January of 2023 when I lost my uncle, and I was devastated, but quite aware and quite level-headed that I knew that what I was experiencing had to be real. There was no other explanation for it. Now, when I lost my uncle, he was the epitome of unconditional love in my eyes, because he had not much to give and he didn't expect much in return, but you knew he loved you. He was constantly checking on me. I'm just going to talk about it from my point. He was always checking on me, making sure I was okay. He would always be calling me to ask me what I'm doing, how are my kids, what am I eating for dinner. He was actually concerned and interested. When I responded back to him, he cared about what the answer was. And he showed me nothing but love. Even though I couldn't give him anything and he couldn't give me anything, it was unconditional. He loved me no matter who I was, where I was, what I was doing. He loved me. So losing that type of person in my life triggered me in such a way. I felt so alone. And it really got me questioning and looking at my life as... Sorry, I had to pause. It really got me questioning the people in my life and the situations I was in, and if I was being seen, if I was being heard, if I was being treated the way that I needed to be. And I ended up going into what they call hermit mode for quite a while. I spent much time alone. I wanted it that way. I had a lot to process and break down. I reviewed a lot of situations in my life on a daily. I maintained my schedule, and every morning I was getting up and going to the gym, and I was doing my self-help videos, and I was, focused. But when I wasn't there, I was spending much time alone. And every morning I found that I would wake up at 6 a.m. or, sometime early in the morning. It's when my uncle would normally call me. And as I was getting ready, I would start talking to him as if he was there, because I was used to talking to him first thing or getting a message from him first thing. And I felt that void, so I would talk to him. And then one day, as I was silently getting ready, I heard a response. And it sounded like his voice. And it was his sassy attitude, and a phrase that I never would say. It was something he would say. Absolutely. And I felt such comfort in this. It was amazing. So I began to lean on that a lot. And when I wasn't out and about or at the gym, I would confide in my uncle privately about what was going on in my life, looking for advice, getting feedback, and I would hear his responses. Sometimes he would chime in and tell me to tell someone in my family a message for him, which I did. And I'm not 100% sure if those messages resonated with them or not, and I felt a little bit foolish at first, kind of embarrassed even reaching out. But I did because he asked me to, and I said, what do I got to lose? So they think I'm crazy. At least, I feel better about myself that I told him how I felt. So this went on for several weeks, and then I was talking to him one day, and then out of nowhere, a voice came up that I've never heard before. A voice I've never heard in my life. It was beautiful. It was like a lyrical kind of voice. It was upbeat and happy and just very, very soothing. And I started talking to them. I don't know who they were. I was really intrigued, and this particular voice was one of my main guides throughout the first half of 2023. I talked to this voice every single day in and day out, like morning through night. Like I was getting messages and downloads and take this path, not that path, and I'd listen, and then something would happen on that path, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is for real. Someone's telling me what to do, and they have my best interest at heart. And I felt like I had a friend. It was a comforting feeling to feel like I had someone that I could talk to and share my deepest feelings with. And that was great. So that went on for a while, but I would say halfway through the beginning part of last year, I was having a conversation with this particular individual, and all of a sudden, I forgot what I said, but I said something, and I got a response from a group of people all at the same time, and I could hear all the individual voices as a collective saying, "We know, Jennifer." I'm pretty sure I was griping and bitching about something repetitively, and they're just over it. Like, we get it. Shut up. It's time to move on from this. And I had to laugh. I was dying. I'm like, whoa. I heard my grandma, I heard a couple of my uncles, I heard a grandfather, I heard her. It was pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. But, having gone through that, I was also at the time meditating for the first time. I was doing yoga. I was brain training and doing binaural beats. I was getting myself into a theta brainwave mindset, which I think really, really helped aid in hearing the inner dialogue. I don't even want to call it monologue, because you're literally conversing with another person within yourself and using them as a tool to guide you. It's kind of like a video game or a story. It's like you're running this course and they have the cheat sheet. They have the answers, and it's like they're on your team. It's like when you're like maybe in an obstacle and you got your team out there running an obstacle, and then you have like maybe 2 members or something sitting up watching you and giving you, okay, turn left. Okay, now you're gonna wanna go under that thing. Don't go over it, go under. And if you're not tuned in and you're not listening, you're going to make the mistakes. But if you're tuned in and you're honed into your inner dialogue, you can hear the answers. They're always leading you, and they're always guiding you. So that's to me, that's a big part of the self-love journey, is they've been a huge assistance in getting me on my path, showing me what direction to take, helping me figure out what I'm good at, what are my qualities, what I was meant to do, what I was designed to do, why I was sent here this time. And yes, I'm still working on it, but I am further ahead now because of, I'm going to call them my spirit guides, and that beautiful voice, Mama Mary is what I call her. Because of them, I have opened up, and I have learned to love myself, and I have a group of guides that love me too. Stay tuned for the rest of this in part 2.